Hello and welcome to the Extra Mile. I'm Linda Boudreaux. Our guest today is Brian Gotreaux. Brian is the founder and owner of Gotreaux Farms. We're going to be talking about organic farming and organic food. So I think it's going to be a special show today. Brian, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
You know, organic, we all hear organic and we all are told that we should eat organic and we probably think it's a good idea and we kind of maybe sort of want to do it. But my guess is a lot of people don't even know what organic food really is. So can we just start by kind of telling us what is organic food and what is this whole movement all about?
Sure, absolutely. It is a growing trend. I forget the statistics because they're changing constantly, but it's the fastest growing segment of the food industry as more and more people get aware of the health benefits of eating food free of the chemicals and such. But basically the organics, there's an organic standards board that sets the standards for what can be defined as organic.
And this is like a legal definition then of organic.
Correct.
Or an FDA kind of definition.
USDA owns the word organic.
Okay. There you
you
go.
have to actually pay for the rights to use it and be inspected and certified to be able to use that word.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, we call it the O word. So, so basically, to become organic, or what organic food is basically food with the absence, grown with the absence of synthetics. No synthetic pesticides, fertilizers, herbicides, fungicides, the ides.
Okay.
So to be certified organic, you would have to file application with the USDA or a certifying agency that's approved by the USDA, and have your soil tested that it's not got any kind of chemical remnants from past agricultural use, and then you agree to follow all of their standards, which would be not to use any of those things, to track your seeds, to go into crop rotations. You would never plant the same crop in the same piece consecutively in the same year, things like that.
So it is very, very regulated then.
It is. It's quite regulated.
And I guess that's important for a lot of reasons.
It is, yes. Stop signs are on intersections for a reason, right? So it monitors and assists in maintaining an integrity part of the system.
Okay, and why do you think, in your opinion, is it important or preferable to eat organically grown food?
For me, the number one factor was health reasons. After doing some research and finding out what was in the food systems and what was in so much of the conventionally grown foods, it was a major concern to me for my health and the health of my family, and we decided that we would grow our own food because, at that time, a little over 10 years ago, organic food really wasn't available in this area.
I remember that, yeah. You really had to look and you weren't really sure what you were getting.
Go out of town, mail order, things like that.
Exactly.
And then, the integrity side of that, is it really organic? So we started growing our own food just
for yourself?
Just for ourselves. And people would come to us and ask us, if you grow a little extra, I'd really like to buy it from you. So that's pretty much how our farm, Gotreaux Family Farms, has gotten started.
And you are truly a family farm.
We are, yes.
And your family is not small.
No, there's actually 12 of us. We've got 10 children. And we all do work the farm. We all have our chores, and our strengths and our weaknesses are, I pretty much set everybody for that, and we work together.
It almost sounds like a throwback way to live. It sounds sort of wonderful. It's idyllic, it sounds.
Yeah, it's kind of like pioneering.
Yeah, except you're doing it in Scott, which is where the West begins. I guess it is.
There you go.
In its own way. But back to organic again, because before the show you were saying that there's more to it than just to be certified organic. There's beyond organic.
Yes, absolutely. Organic basically is a minimal standard. They give you a list of things that you have to comply with to be organic. But to me, organic really doesn't define nutrient density. You can grow food without all of these chemicals But if there's no nutrients in it, it's still just organic. So, 5 years ago we came to the conclusion that we could go beyond organic. So, where we're at is we remineralize our soils.
I don't know what that means.
We have our soil tested
Okay.
in a laboratory, and this lab sends us back what is available in the soil, all the essential elements, all the minerals, and what we do.
The natural minerals that are occurring in soil.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I forget how many there are.
But
that was a science chemistry class, right? But there's a bunch
That's a
of
class
them.
you stopped.
Yeah. So there's things like boron and selenium and things like that, copper and the broad spectrum of things. And what we do is we send off our soil to a laboratory, and they say, okay, this is what you're high in, this is what you're weak in, and it also depends on what crops we're working with.
Okay.
So I would specify on this given portion of the farm we're going to be growing, for instance, sweet corn, and we will specifically mix a broad spectrum mineral for that particular crop with the intentions of making it nutrient dense. And that's measurable with a refractometer, and we measure what's called Brix levels. BRIX, it's a nutrient content. It's a measurement of the polysaccharides. So when there's high polysaccharides, there's a lot of nutrients. So that's what we're after these days with our farm, is to go the step beyond and truly make food your medicine. Because when it's got all of what it needs and the nutrients, it can do wonders for the body, for nutrition.
And it can't give what it doesn't have. So if the produce doesn't have all the nutrients, and it's not going to be able to give them to you. Is that
That's
kind of
right.
the thinking behind
That's right.
this?
You are what your food ate.
You really are what your food. You're not what you eat. You're what your food ate. It's true. I thought about it that way.
That's right.
So, but to remineralize the soil then is still within the confines or regulations of organic. That's not the same as.
No, actually, we've had to give up our organic certification.
Okay.
Because some of the things that we use just aren't in the list of what the NOP board has approved. They're all natural elements, but they're not, I guess, they're just not on the list of approved items.
So they may not have caught up with you yet?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
But they're continuing to do research too.
They
would
are,
imagine,
absolutely.
And so this is an evolving field, isn't it? I mean, this
Absolutely.
whole thing about organically grown food and small farmers and eating locally and all those kinds of things, that's almost like a wave that has just started to take off. I think it's going to get really big, and you're riding that wave.
Right. We're so far we're calling it beyond organic, lack of better words.
So what kind of backlash did you have to get when you couldn't be calling yourself organic anymore? Was that a problem for you?
No, not at all. We
Okay.
spoke with a lot of our customers and said, we've got some ideas. I've been doing the research, and there are some things that we would like to be able to use that if I use them, I'm no longer going to be able to be considered organic.
Okay.
So we'll have to give up our organic certification to do so, but we promise to not use any of the synthetic chemicals, and we're going to use more natural, basically it's rock powders that we use, calcium and phosphates and things like that, instead of manures. We use no manures on our farm like a lot of organic farms do.
Is there a reason for that?
The rock powders actually, there's no pathogens that come with the rock powders versus the manures.
Which is actually, with all the food poisoning that people are getting, it's kind of a big deal.
Could be pathogenic, right?
Yeah.
There are some food safety issues to be concerned with on that. USDA and FDA are both looking a lot into organic farms using manures. But the rock powders are the basic elements of what manures break down to, and we grow things that we would use a lot of beneficial microbes in the soil that actually digest the rock powders that make it available to the plants. But if you go to the chemistry elements, the list of chemistry elements, that's what soil is made of, that's what humans are made out of, that's what plants are made out of. So we're all
made out of the same stuff.
We're all made
We're
out
just
of the same
different
stuff.
forms of the same thing.
That's exactly right.
Hey, Brian, how did you learn how to do all this?
That's been an evolving process. I was, like I said in the beginning, was interested in just growing organic.
For you and your family.
For me
just
and my family.
Because you want to feel good.
Yeah. As a child, I had my own garden, grew food without chemicals, didn't even know I was organic.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It's been a passion all my life to be able to grow things. And then, we discovered that that things can have more nutrients. You can have marginal, you can have better, you can have best, and we're striving for the best.
And this is a measurable outcome, so you can actually document or demonstrate that you have more nutrients in this ear of corn than in this ear of corn.
Absolutely.
And what determines that is the soil that it's grown in.
Absolutely, that's right.
Makes sense, actually. It does make sense. So, how many different kinds of vegetables are you growing out there on Gotreaux Farms?
We grow about 140 different vegetables.
So you have certainly expanded from the tomato plant.
Right. I grow typically about 7 different types of tomatoes. We grow about 20 different types of lettuces, 5 or 6 different types of cabbages and eggplants, probably about 20 different types of squashes. There's a lot of
That's a
diversity.
lot of work, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Where do you get your seeds?
We get most of our seeds from an online company called Johnny's Selected Seeds. They're up in Maine, and they've got a very good variety of organic seeds.
Which is a part of this whole process.
Exactly.
And how many acres do you have?
We've got 22 acres.
And who farms all this?
Me and my family.
So you got 12 people doing over 100 different kinds of vegetables on
That's right.
22 acres. Do kids have time to go to school?
They do. They do. We actually homeschool, so
okay, so that
takes
works.
care of it. Right,
That
and then my parents and my mother and my mother-in-law assist in the homeschooling and stuff.
Okay, so
too,
you've got some help.
We've got some help.
What have been some of the big challenges that you and your family have faced, just I guess in how trying to navigate this, what I consider still a rather new field, although like you said before we started the show, this is just Grandma's farm again.
That's right. That's right. It's what Grandma was doing, 50 years ago.
But we forgot how to do it. So
That's
what have
right.
been some of the challenges for you to kind of help make this work? Because this is your full-time job now. This is how you live. So
It is.
you got to make it work.
That's right. That's right. The challenges weren't so much in growing it. The challenges were more in educating the community of its value. And that's been almost a one customer at a time approach over the years, educating people on, people would come and ask questions, why do you grow it organic? So, and that was an open door to be able to share our belief and our passion in doing this. And it's truly become a passion. But then we've had assistance in the last couple of years. There's been some great food documentaries that have come online, and they have left us running, trying to keep up with the demand now.
So you may have to bring on more help eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
And it's a social movement. I think
Absolutely.
It's rolled up in a whole bunch of stuff about our health and our obesity problems and our kids and just everything. I think now's a really good time to be doing this.
Yes, absolutely. There's room for since we've started, we've seen 5 or 6 other farmers start growing organic. Some of them have transitioned. Some of them have just started up new operations, and so it's a growing movement.
It is.
We're happy to see it. There's
There's room for lots of people.
Yeah, there's 3 farmers markets in Lafayette now,
and we have signs that say "Eat local."
right, right. The restaurants are starting to catch on and get on board.
Yeah, and this is just, I guess, a personal preference question, but do you think the food is better?
I do. Flavor's there. Nutrients are there, absolutely.
So it isn't just about health. It's also about just good eating.
It can be considered gourmet as well.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking some of our restaurants, some of our finer restaurants are buying local produce. And so,
Right.
it does make a difference in what they're able to serve. So
That's right.
you can serve that to your family at home, just buying the right stuff. Now, some people say that it's expensive.
Right.
And they don't want to spend that extra money on something that they can get, a few dollars, $5, $3 cheaper somewhere else.
Right. And, we've had conversations about this in the past, and, some people do say it's expensive, and we often, go back to, well, what does cancer cost? What does a week stay in the hospital cost? That's expensive. America's just gotten really creative at how cheap they can produce food. We're 2013 now, and hamburgers are still the same price they were when I was in school some 25 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
We've gotten really creative at creating cheap food systems so we can have $100 cell phones now, or $500 cell phones now, right? So it's been a trade-off. America has given up quality of life, quality food for things.
That's a very interesting take on it, and I think there's some truth to that. It's just the expediency of it all.
That's right.
And fast foods and all those things, I guess, play a part in it. Just the whole, all the events surrounding food production and preparation and consumption is just kind of, on the fly. I bet your family has dinner together, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
3 meals a day.
Yeah. See, lots of families don't. So these are the kinds of changes. But I think it's something that a lot of people would like to go back to. So if somebody wanted to find, organically grown vegetable. Oh wait, before I get into that, you don't just do vegetables. You do chickens and stuff too.
We do.
Huh?
We do the. We're pretty much almost a one-stop shop these days. We've expanded. We rotate our land as it would in nature. If you look at nature, how it would work without human intervention, there are animals roaming the lands. So, and then, crops of natural origin would sprout and grow behind those animals, so the animals would kind of fertilize the land. But we also grow chickens for eggs and for meat. We grow lamb, we do some beef, and all of that's in a very symbiotic relationship across the rotational on the pasture, so that every aspect of the farm benefits the other aspect.
And is that what farming has historically been? I mean, back with the small farmers, back with my great-grandfather,
it
would be,
right.
Because they always had crops and animals.
Right, and back then they would have saved the manure from the animals and put it in the garden,
right.
Which is about the only thing we've changed. We don't rotate the animals with the crops anymore. We just build the pastures. Those manures and minerals on the pastures benefit the animals, so the animals are healthier, happier. And they're in that rotation where they're getting their premium grazing species of grasses.
And then you eat the animals.
And you eat the animals.
So you don't name them.
Right, and a few of them.
you gotta have some that you name. And again, I think that must be teaching your children some really good values.
Yeah,
huh?
we see it. We see the work ethics there, the love for working with nature.
So again, now I was going to ask you this a minute ago, but then I got sidetracked. But so how could people find you?
We have a farm stand at our farm in Scott. It's open every Tuesday afternoon from 2 to 6.
That's just 4 hours a week.
That's right.
That's not much.
That's right. The rest of the week we're growing it. We're bending over working, and we also offer our products at the farmers market, the Lafayette Hub City Farmers Market,
That's the
one in the oil center.
Okay.
On South College and Hyman.
Okay.
And that's every Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon.
That's still just another 4 hours.
It's still just 2 days a week. So if you want it, you really gotta change your life. Which eating organic is a lifestyle. It's not necessarily just a fad or a trend or something that's easy accessible. You've really got to alter your lifestyle.
And how have you
desire
had to
that.
alter yours, aside from the fact that you changed careers?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I work 100 hours a week instead of 40 now.
yeah, exactly. You don't have vacation because you can't leave the cows.
Yeah, there's
anyway.
no
We all-
vacation.
you're not
Yeah,
going
right.
anywhere.
Our life is our vacation, I guess.
Which is really, what else could we possibly want?
Right.
But can people like call or place special orders with you?
Some people do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that is available.
So what are the fall crops? What's coming in now?
Right now, we are planting all of our lettuces and cauliflowers and broccolis
Are
and
those
stuff like that.
lettuce is a winter crop?
It's a cool weather crop,
I did
right?
not know that. I thought it was a
Yes.
summer crop.
Yep, so those will be coming in the next week or two. You know, right now we're pretty much at August, September borderline. There is the lowest peak, the lowest valley of production there is for the year.
Really?
The summer heat has pretty much hurt all of the summer crops. So we've got the ones that are enduring right now: okra, purple hull peas, eggplant, peppers. That's
That are pretty hardy.
those are hardy, so
Okay.
heat tolerant. And but in the next couple of weeks, it's going to change drastically. Everything's starting to shine for the fall crops.
And how long do they last before you go into the winter?
They'll actually grow all winter. We
Oh,
grow
really?
52 weeks a year. Yeah.
So for you, really, August and September are your slowest months, and then harvest
As
time
far as
again.
production,
Wow, that's
right.
amazing because
And then-
you would think that it would be those cold winter months. We're just not that cold down here. I
Right,
guess.
right. We can grow through the year. We just select varieties for the time of the year that we're growing.
So what do you have? What do you plan? Or do you have plans for new crops or new ways to do some of this?
We're always experimenting with new varieties. We love doing that. We love bringing things to the farmers market, and people say, "What is this?" And we get the opportunity to share with them, right?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
shake the hand that feeds you and talk about new crops.
What do you do about watering? I was just thinking about that, and then I forgot my question. That was one of them. I mean, do you irrigate out there?
We do. We've got
Okay.
what's called a drip irrigation system, which is a system that we put out that's got micro feeding tubes. Every single row gets a line, and it drips. Like each plant, while it's on, will get like 0.4 of a gallon per hour. So we're only watering that's one of the ways that we're able to grow without the herbicides, is we're only watering the plant. They have little drip emitters every 12 inches, and you put a plant at each emitter, so you're only watering the plant. You're not watering the whole field and the weeds.
So
and
the weeds
everything.
can't grow as easily.
Right, and we use less water. Less groundwater is
Yeah.
pumped out of the field. Probably, maybe 10% of a conventional watering system.
Wow. So it's very efficient then.
It is, yeah. And we're working on some rooftop rainwater collection systems and stuff like that.
So you do a
to
little
be more
engineering while
conservative.
you're at it.
Yeah, yeah.
In the last couple of minutes that we have, I want to go back to talking about organic food again because I think there is a lot of confusion about that. Is it fair to say that anything that's going to be stamped organic has met the criteria of the USDA?
They at least agreed to the system.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot of foods that are coming into the United States from other countries, as far away as China, that are stamped and labeled organic. And USDA has admitted that less than 4% of that gets inspected as it comes into the ports.
Okay.
So there's some concern there. I would say that a purchase of organic is a vote for organic.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And the more we buy it, the more there'll be.
That's right. We vote with our dollars.
But I think we can also vote with a handshake, and like you said a few minutes ago, shake the hand that feeds you, and as much as possible, get to know your local food growers.
Absolutely.
And that's, I think, where we're headed.
Yeah.
We're out of time in the last 30 seconds. What do you want people to know about Gotreaux Family Farms?
Come out and see us.
And over 100 different kinds of vegetables and produce they have out there.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting with us today.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
And thank you for watching The Extra Mile.